Welcome to the Life of KG, your ultimate destination for all things motivation and business insights. Join me, Katie Godfrey, serial entrepreneur and the brains behind the KG brand. Along the way, we'll welcome inspiring guests and share invaluable business tips to fuel your growth journey. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. With that said, let's dive into the world of success together. If you're ready to level up, you need to join one of my masterminds. My clients are getting insane results. One client works from home, has tripled her income, and is now joining the mentoring space. Another client was stuck to her salon floor, but now has retired from the tools, and her team is just running the show without her. Another salon owner had a training academy too and wanted to scale her training academy more than the salon, which she is now doing, and created online courses and created a passive income. If you want to stop winging it and start growing today, then you need to apply. The link is in the show notes. Hey everyone, welcome back to a Life of KG. Another episode, another day. As I'm filming this, it's 16 days until I move to Dubai. I'm not even sure if I'm going to air this episode or not. So if I do, then I'm obviously ready to drop it. But I just thought, do you know what? I need to do an episode on this just in case it does come a time where I'm ready to talk about it, because some real turbulent stuff has been happening within the business right on top of moving that I never thought would happen in a million years. And I've been going through it silently with just my family, not even my team yet. And I'm like, oh God, like I'm gonna have to talk about this at some point. Like I know it's a lesson to pass on to other people or a learning to pass on to other people. But at the moment it's like too awkward and too upsetting to talk about yet. But basically, obviously I'm moving to Dubai, which I'm so excited about. It's like my ultimate goal, my dream, everything that I've ever wanted. And everything is obviously emotion with that, and that's all great. I've got the coaching company and I've obviously got the salon and the product range, which is, you know, they've always been going for 16 years. And I got a call a month ago, maybe just under a month ago, to say that they're developing on the salon and that they're giving me their notice. And to say that floored me is like, I can't even tell you the words. I mean, any of you all own businesses that watch this, and just imagine saying that you can't be here anymore. I mean, okay, if I was staying in the UK, we would possibly be looking for other locations and moving and all of those things within the space of a couple of months. But I've been looking to move my premises for years now, even before COVID. Like, well, we had a massive team and the rooms are like crazy, and we used to have to do like a team huddle every single day of where is everyone going to be today, because it was like someone be in a room, then you've got to change, and you're in this location, then you're in that location. We outgrew the salon massively, and I could never ever find a location, and I always wanted like a super salon somewhere where I could have my salon, I could have training rooms, I could have a podcast studio. I wanted like the whole big shebang, and I could never find it because it had to still be in my area. And I'm in a little village, like unless we moved location, I don't think I would have ever found that. There was always this one building that I absolutely loved, but it was ridiculous money, and I was like toying with it for ages. I remember talking to my business coach about it, and she was like, Kate, this is not a good idea with how much it costs. And I was like, oh no, but it was like everything I kind of imagined. And I'd say only up until maybe a year ago, I kept on going back and looking at this place, and I was like, it's going to kill me if I do this, but also if I do this, I'll never be able to really move, because it was the hub that I wanted to create for everything. It was like somewhere where I would be all the time, which isn't really how I've built my business either. Like, it's always been like a freedom business. Like, yeah, I work a lot, but I can kind of work on my terms where I want, and for me that's what makes me really happy. So I could potentially look for another building right now, but I can't, and we have done that, but I just can't find anywhere. Like anywhere that's as good as what I've got, or anywhere that's better, they're all so much smaller, which definitely is going to work because we're already, like I said, busting where we are now, and everything needs a heavy renovation. How am I going to do a reno when I'm not even living in the country? And I'm about to move and basically not have anywhere to live either, because you've got to get an Airbnb, and then you've got to get a premises when you're there. Once like visas and stuff are done, you can't get a premises in Dubai until you're physically living there, really. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I was like freaking out. Obviously my team are completely unaware. They still are now as I'm recording this. Obviously I'd never air anything until the team know. And that's why I'm like, I don't even know if I'm releasing this episode. But I've just had to make the decision to close. And I can't even, oh God, I don't even want to get upset. I can't even believe that's like a thing. 16 years I've had this salon, and it's everything that's built me to what I am today, right? Like, it's made me into the businesswoman I am. It's helped me create a whole franchise when I had that. It's helped me go on and build my training academies and my product ranges, which has then evolved into obviously coaching, which I've been doing for 9 years, like coming up to 10 years, but actually by the time this is aired, it'll almost be 10 years that I've been coaching, which is absolutely insane. And I have such an emotional connection with my salon because I was that 19-year-old girl that opened that salon with all these, no clients, no experience, not knowing what the hell I was doing. And it's been a massive part of my journey. I always teach people not to be emotional to their business because I know what a hold this salon has had on me. I'm like, the universe works in really weird ways sometimes. Is there a reason why this is happening? Is it just because, like, Kate, you've got so far in other parts of your businesses now, it's time to let the first business go, like just let it go? I just don't know. The plan was always to sell the salon. It was always like when I had the franchise and then I was going to sell the salon just before lockdown, and we had an offer for £180,000 for my salon. And I was like, okay, maybe it's time to sell it now, because I always knew I wanted to sell it for a large amount of money. I've always said my salon is like my retirement pot. And we done this deal of £180,000 for my salon 2 weeks before COVID. And then obviously COVID hit. And so we couldn't sell it. And then I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, it is what it is. And then obviously we've had to rebuild the salon since COVID, like everyone has. And it's been really hard for all businesses that had a business pre-COVID and then one after COVID. They are very different businesses. So that's been fine, but it's always been the fact that, one day I will sell this salon. I never wanted to keep it. Like, I never wanted to keep it for another 10 years, another 16 years. That was never ever going to be the plan. I would have always have sold it. Almost within the next year or two, but I didn't think I'd have to close. Like, that's the difference. I have to make my team redundant, and I've done redundancies loads of times, but I've done redundancies on individuals, that maybe their job role isn't available anymore, or we've had to make cuts or whatever that is. That's just business. Like, there's no emotion to that in the nicest way. Like, it's just business. We have to let people go in any types of businesses sometimes. But to have to make all my team redundant and then completely unaware, and we're moving to Dubai and everyone's like, oh, the salon will keep running, and all the clients are like, it's so great you're keeping the salon running, because obviously they were worried that wouldn't be the case when I moved. But now it's been completely taken out of my hands, and I get it. Like, of course you would build on the plot of land if you could. That's going to make way more money. So as a business perspective for, the landlord, I get it. But I haven't got time to move. I don't want to do a renovation. I don't in the nicest way even have the passion enough to do that anymore after 16, coming up 17 years of running a salon. Like, my direction has gone in other ways. And I'm like, so is that what the test is here? I've always been juggling so many balls. I've always built really big businesses and successful businesses. But the coaching business, my gosh, it has taken off more than I could ever have imagined. And I'm like, is this my time where it's like, Kate, you need to focus, which is what I tell everyone because I know how hard it is spinning all the plates. Focus on one thing. Because it's not really one thing, is it? We have like retreats, we have programs, we have masterminds, we have loads of things within the coaching company. So it's like, is it just my time to be like, you've learned everything a salon owner could possibly learn in 16 years. You've been running teams for 16 years. You've had multiple sites for 16 years. You've had product ranges for 16 years. You've had training academies for 16 years. Like, it's now time to just focus on coaching because this is where the scalability is. And that's my absolute passion, right? Like, I could literally not sleep for 48 hours just working on my clients' businesses. Like, I absolutely love helping them with everything I've got. My salon doesn't take my time or my focus, but it's a passive product, or semi-passive, because obviously I still have to talk to managers.
If you haven't been on a business retreat, this is an absolute game changer for your business. I know so many people are so nervous about traveling on their own, being abroad, going on holiday, basically with a bunch of people that they don't know. But honestly, you will be so thankful that you made this move in your business. I host 2 business retreats twice a year, and they're all different places around the world. So go to kgbusinessmentor.com, press the retreat tab, and you'll see where we are going next in the world. Go and grab your space now.
I'm absolutely heartbroken, and I definitely couldn't have recorded this episode any other time but now. And because this is my last day in the studio before I go, I was like, do I do this now? Do I not? And I just wasn't sure. But I always want to be open and honest with what happens in life and business with all of my listeners, like I always have done. So it felt only right to do something, but obviously I haven't been able to say anything before. My team know. I'm really worried about telling my team, mainly because I'm just gutted for them. And obviously, like, they've been with me for a long time, like I adore them all, but I will fully look after them. I have to tell them 2 days before I leave, which, you know, I had all my treatments and everything booked in, like we had team meetings booked in, all of that was done. And now on this team meeting, I'm going to have to announce everything because redundancy takes like a process. You can't just, well, you can make people redundant on the last day and say, see you, you're not coming back. There's no way in hell I'm doing that. I want to give them all notice. I want them to start taking my clients. I'm going to give them all my clients because there's no point me keeping them, right? Give them my clients if they want to set up their own businesses. I'm going to help them every single step of the way. There's loads of local salons which would love my team. So I know I can 100% get every single one of them jobs if they wanted to stay in employment. So they've got the choice. I can either get them a job or I can help them set up a business. And I will make sure every single one of the girls is okay as my priority. I'm just gutted that this is happening alongside me moving. Like, how can you have like such a big dream that you finally have and it's happening? And I'm like, whoa, I feel like I'm in like this fake world of like I'm moving, and is this actually happening? I keep saying to Luke, like, are we doing this? Is this actually a thing? Like, this is just crazy. And then I'm like, wow, there's this huge dark cloud that's now come over me that I have to tell my team before I move, 2 days before I move. Before that, when I'm meant to be like, you know, getting everything ready and having this exciting month on the lead up, I'm having to do loads of paperwork and all the things that comes with closing a company. And then while I'm away, which is where I'm trying to find a property and settle my children, we're having to do the redundancy process. You actually couldn't make this up. You actually couldn't make it up. But it is what it is, and I'm just going to have to ride it and see what happens. And there's part of me, obviously there's the major part of me that's absolutely gutted, but there's this other, now I've like calmed down and I'm not an emotional wreck. Like honestly, I could not hold a conversation for the last 2 weeks. But now that's all calm and getting my head around it. I'm like, okay, is this the next step for me? Like, is this the next thing? Like, I can level up coaching more than I've ever been able to level it up. I can give so much focus to all of my clients, like I do anyway. They always say, God, you reply so quickly. You're always on the ball. Like, they get everything they possibly can from me. And that is the coach I want to be. But now I can do that even more. So I'm just like stepping into this zone of, you know, everything always happens for a reason. And when something happens, we never know why it happens, or we just think, you know, the world's over. But there's always a reason behind it. And it's even like my product range is distributed from my salon. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing with that yet. And the other part of me is like, okay, do I just let it all go? Do I just let it all go? Like, I don't know. So we'll make decisions on that one at a later date. But there's definitely products I will be keeping because they're like, I absolutely love them. For example, my lash and brow serum is not going anywhere. Like, that is my passion project. I love it. The results are incredible. The results are incredible of all my products. Otherwise, they would not be coming to market. But also, I'm not a lash tech anymore. Like, I don't really want to keep up with the trends and, you know, what's going on in the lash world, because my world is now business. And I'm like, if my clients come to me and was having this discussion on the couch with me, I know what I would be saying to them. I'd be saying that you've evolved. I'd be saying, like, this is your time to move on. You've been building a coaching business for 10 years. Let everything else go. So I know what I'd say to a client. So maybe I just need to take that advice on myself. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was just like focus, because I don't know, because it's all too raw at the moment, what the lessons are from this. But what I do know and what I'm grateful for is, thank fuck, I have multiple companies and other streams of income. Because imagine if I just had my salon and I thought, yeah, salon's going great and I'm about to move abroad and the salon's running its back in the background all fine, like, and then it got taken away from me. We would not be able to do what we're doing. We can only do what I'm doing because of my other companies and my investments and all the other things that we've got going on. So it's like, I don't ever want anyone to have one sole stream of income. But I also want you to focus. Now, the only reason I have been able to have multiple businesses is because I built one first successfully, aka the salon. I built that first. Once that was successful, once it didn't need me as much, I went on to the next business. I built that, then I went on to the next business. I didn't start all the things when they needed all of my energy, right? So yes, I really do believe in multiple income streams more than ever right now, being put in this position. But I don't want you to then be like, oh my God, this could happen to me. I need to now create more businesses. If your business currently still really needs you, what you need to work on is building that business as solid as possible, not needing you as much as it needs you now. So you can work on the second thing or the third thing, depending on where you are in your business journey. So then if anything happens to one business, it's okay because you've got another business to lean on. Now, it's what happened in COVID, right? I mean, all the salons went under in COVID. We couldn't earn from our salons, and obviously I was still earning from coaching. So I learned that lesson then, but I never thought in a million years it'd be taken from me unless I was obviously getting paid to sell it, which is what I do with all my other companies. I always would sell companies rather than close. But obviously that's not a possibility whatsoever with this situation. So just be mindful. Always think of the different income streams to make sure that you're okay with whatever happens, but but also just have that focus. Don't build the next thing until the first thing is working and working well. The amount of people I talk to on a daily that's like, I want to do this, but I also want to do this. I want to do this, and I want to do this. And I'm like, whoa, let's slow down, because you only have the same amount of hours in a day than anyone else does. We need to make sure that we focus, because if we're spreading ourselves too thin, nothing works. And let me tell you, that is fact. I've had people work with me that have so many different offers, and they're doing so many things, and they're constantly chasing from each thing because nothing is working. And then I have to tell them, stop, let's work on this one thing, and guess what? It works. And they can build on the multiple things after once the one thing starts working. And I can't stress that enough. Like, all of my energy and focus has been going into my coaching company recently for a long time, actually, just because obviously the other companies do work on their own, like they do run their own. I have to obviously think of the marketing. It still has like a headspace in my mind, which that's going to be really weird when that's gone. But the coaching has my day to day. Like, that is like my thing. So when we done our last launch, it was a £200,000 launch. I never thought in a million years I would ever say that. One launch, 200,000. That's not cash though. Like, let's tell you all that. People that go, oh, I made this much in a month, or I made this much in a thing, and they're in the coaching space. It wasn't all cash. There obviously was a lot of cash with that, but most of that is like payment plans and stuff. But I'm cool with that. Like, I know that I'm okay for a year if I didn't even sell one more thing, even longer than that. So, but I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was working on several things. After my launch, we then done a 44k weekend in like across 2 days, but I was only working like 2 hours, and I put that on my socials because I was like, what the hell? Now, I don't really like talking about what money we've made in launches, how much we've made in a weekend, but I felt like I didn't want to do it to trigger people. I wanted to do it to tell, because I would hate that. I hate it when there's certain people that trigger people, but I wanted to be honest of the fact that this can be done. Let's not say people don't have money, because they do. Let's not say launches don't work, because they do. Let's not say you can't build another business, because you can. Like, there's so much in that, which is why I wanted to share. It was because of the focus, because my everything has gone into that. And then because it works, we get so many referrals. Like, so focus is absolutely key. When you're building something, you need to work on that one thing so damn much. You need to be immersed in that one thing. And the problem is, when things don't work and things don't get off the ground as quickly as we want to get them off the ground, people then get itchy and then like, okay, I need to work on the next thing. Or this hasn't worked, I haven't sold this much this month, so I need to now go and sell this thing. And it can't be like that. Like, business is a long game. Like, come on, I've been coaching nearly 10 years and I've only just done a 200k launch. Like, it's a long game. So, yeah, I just wanted to share all that with you guys. I don't know if this is a complete mumble. I'm sorry for my cry and breakdown, but you know, it's just raw and honest, right? And I'll always do that for my listeners, my followers, my clients. I'll always be as open as I can. And yeah, I hope everyone can support me on this, because it's been like a really bad, scary, upsetting, shocking journey on top of having a dream. And well, resilience is key in business, you know that? Like, you have to be super resilient, because everyone will fail at the first hurdle if you don't have resilience. And I have loads of resilience, and that comes over being in business for so long and have so many things happen in business, because it's the roller coaster that my clients always know that I talk about. It's always up and down, and if you can't handle that up and down, then business isn't for that person. If you can handle that up and downs, and you like resilient and you get up and you're like, right, okay, this is happening, but let's go next, then that's when you'll be okay in business. So yeah, I don't know when this is going to air. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But yeah, I hope you appreciate my honesty on this.